Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Professor.
How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good. What about you?
I'm okay, but I'm still throwing up.
Wait, so Professor, what lessons are we gonna go over? Are we gonna start going over 4.1 and the others, or are we gonna like continue where we left off yesterday?
Continue from yesterday.
Okay,
Wait,
thank you.
no problem. Hmm. At least, Mary, I'm okay. At least for now, I'm okay. I'm just having a stomach ache and throwing up. Hmm. I couldn't even sleep. Thank you. So yeah, we finished 3.2, 3.3, and this is 3.4. We have only a few concepts left from 3.4. Then we'll be done with 3.4, and then we are going to go 3.5. And for for homework, you start doing 3.2, 3.3, 3.4. And next week you are going to finish 3.5 and 3.6. Since many people still were not able to get my MATLAB access, so I actually decided to put fast homework date, chapter 3 homework date and quiz date on not this week but the following week, Tuesday, so that I don't have to give. I mean, you are not going to get zero for missing your homework and quizzes. So instead of this Tuesday, not extended actually. I put the deadline for chapter 3 homework and quizzes on the next week, Tuesday midnight. If you go to my MATLAB, you'll see the new deadline. And after that, we are going to have homework almost every week. Instead of in 2 weeks, you are going to have every week based on how many sections we finish in 1 week. So every Friday, we are going to decide which section will be in the homework for Tuesday midnight. Any question from anyone?
You said we're going over 3.4 today, correct?
3.4, we are going to finish and then start 3.5. So this is
Copy.
3.4. Okay, then let's start. I hope from yesterday you remember how to find slope and intercept. Let me refresh your memory if you don't remember. To get the slope, we convert the standard form into slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. We like this format, or you want to convert this into this format because this is our slope and this b is our y-intercept. So if you convert standard form into slope intercept form, you're going to get two of these three automatically. Intercepts means you need to find both x and y-intercept. So to solve for y, first we need to remove the 2x. So subtract 2x from both sides. We get negative 6y equals negative 2x plus 10. 10 doesn't have any sign on the right side, so it means it has an invisible plus sign. Now the last thing we need to do to get the y alone is divide every term by this negative 6. So we get y equals, the double negative cancel out, and we can cancel 2 and 6. 2 goes to 6 3 times on the denominator. 2 goes to 2 1 time on the numerator. And we have x. The plus and minus turns into minus, and both of these are divisible by 2. So we reduce, we get 5/3. So we found our slope is 1/3 and our y-intercept is y equals -5/3. That means the only thing we need to know now is x-intercept. Do you guys remember how do you find x-intercept?
Yeah,
Do
do we like replace the y with the 0 by any chance?
Yep. To find x-intercept, we set y to be 0 and we solve for x. So we are given 2x minus 6y equals 10. Replacing y 0 means entire y terms get erased. So we left with 2x equals 10. To get rid of the 2, we divide both sides by 2 and we get x equals 5. And that's how we find slope, x-intercept, and y-intercept. We don't need to separately find the y-intercept if you use slope-intercept form. Any question from anyone? Any question, comments? Anytime you don't understand anything, please let me know. So we did all this math to get all of this, but we actually don't need any math if you can remember these 3 things. If we have a standard form ax plus by equals c, without doing any steps, these steps we did in the last page, without doing them, we can simplify all 3 by just dividing. Our slope is minus a divided by b. When you divide a by negative a by b, you get the slope. X-intercept is c divided by a, and y-intercept is the c divided by this b. So all you have to do is division. If you do division, then you can easily find these 2 without doing any math. Let me show you some example. Let's say we have an equation 2x minus 5y equals, let's say, 7. So without doing any math, we can find the slope. Slope is negative x, so not xa, negative a divided by b. So this is our a, this is our b, and the number is our c. Negative a over b, it means you have negative, a is 2 and b is -5. So you cancel the double negative, you get 2 over 5. This is the slope. For x-intercept, it's c over a. So our c is 7, a is 2. Here's our x-intercept. Y-intercept is c over b. So again, our c is 7, our b is -5, and we cannot reduce this, so this is our y-intercept. But in the exam, if you want to use this shortcut, you're allowed to do so, but you have to do exactly how I showed here. First, you have to write down the formula, what is slope, what is x-intercept, what is y-intercept, in terms of ABC. Once you show this, then you can find all of these by replacing their values. Okay, if you suddenly give me the answer, then I'm going to give you 0. Answer doesn't count if you don't show any correct work. Okay, any question? No question from anyone? Then the next question is, so far we learned how to graph linear equations by plotting points and using x and y intercept. Now this is our last method of drawing linear equation, and this method is called using slope and y-intercept. So using slope and y-intercept, we can draw any linear function. What we do, first we start with y-intercept. We plot the y-intercept on the y-axis, and from that point, that will be our first point. So this is x, this is y. So you plot based on your y value. Let's see y is positive. So if y is positive, you plot your first point on the y-axis, the y-intercept. So if you have an equation y equals to mx plus b format, this is your b. And now from your b, you're going to work your slope. How are you going to work? It has a rule. If that slope has a positive number on the numerator, then you have to go up from your y-intercept. But if you have a negative number on the numerator, then you're going to go down from the y-intercept. And then from that position, if the denominator is positive, you're going to go right from that position. And if the denominator is negative, you're going to go left from that position. And then you're going to get your next point, you plot that point. And then as long as you have 2 points, you can connect them with a straight line. But if you need more points, you can keep working your slope. That's all you have to do. You just have to follow this rule. Let's do an example. Let's say we have y equals negative 3x minus 2. So y equals negative 3x minus 2. This 2 is our y-intercept. And slope has to be a fraction. Negative 3 is not a fraction. Do you know how can you convert negative 3 into a fraction? Negative 3 is a whole number, right? So what can we do so that it turns into a fraction? Does anybody have any idea?
Put a 1 under it. So
Good
negative 3
job.
over 1.
So we have negative 3 over 1. Every number or every variable or anything that have 1 on the denominator. So now we have negative 3 on the numerator. So negative on the numerator means you have to go down. And then from that position, we have positive 1 on the denominator. That means we are going to go right from there. So we start with the y-intercept. X-axis, y-axis. Our y is negative 2. So negative 1, negative 2 here. This is our first point, the y-intercept. Now from that point, we are going to go 3 down. So 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. And now from there, we are going to go 1 right. So this is our next point. You can connect with a straight line and a negative line. But let's say you want to walk more. Then you can go more. 1 down, 2 down, 3 down. And then from that 3 down, you go 1 right. So you get more points. And then you take a ruler. And you connect all these points with a straight line. So this is your y equals negative 3x minus 2. You don't have to walk only one direction. You can actually go on the other direction. You can change your direction. You can reverse your direction. What do I mean? So we have slope is negative 3, 1. But we can say slope is 3/-1. Because when your number is negative for a fraction, either that negative is on the numerator or you can put that negative on the denominator. They both are same. They both are same. So if you want your negative to be on the denominator, then you have a different scenario. Your numerator is positive, so you're going to go up from the y-intercept, and your denominator is negative, so you can go left from that up position. So if this is your y-intercept, you can walk in the reverse direction. You can go 3 units up. So 1, 2, 3 units up, and then 1 unit left. And then you can do more. 1, 2, 3 units up, and then 1 unit left. So you can go forward, you can go backward from your y-intercept based on your sign on the numerator and denominator. Any question? Let me know when you don't understand anything, okay? I wanted you to try this question, but since we are not in class, so I'm gonna skip this for now, and I'm gonna have you draw this later next week. And let me go to the next topic. The next topic is the other way around. Let's say we are given a graph, a line. How do you know what's the equation of this line? So all this time we were given the equation, we drew the graph. But now they gave us the graph, they want us to find the equation. So this is actually much easier than what you think. When you find the equation, the best way to start the equation is writing in the slope-intercept form. Y equals ms plus b. Why this is the best method? Because your y-intercept will already be given. So all you have to do is replace your b with that y-intercept. And then from your y-intercept, you can walk to any point, either forward or backward. So if you walk forward, you're going to go up and then right. So how much you went up? Up means positive, right means positive. So your slope will be some number over some number, and both are positive. Or if you want to walk downward, you can go that. You can do that. So you're going to go down means negative. Going left means negative. So slope will be negative some number over negative some number. And that's it. You found your equation in slope-intercept form. And then sometimes they ask to write the equation in standard form. Standard form means ax plus by equals c. So that means you're going to bring your x and y on one side of the equation, and your b will be alone on the other side, the y-intercept. So for example, here, they gave us a graph. They want us to write both in slope-intercept form, means y equals mx plus b, and also in standard form, means ax plus by equals c format. So the easy method is slope-intercept form. So we are going to start with slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So we have y equals x. So we just need to replace what is m and what is b. Who can tell me what's the b here in this equation, in this graph? How much is the b here? Any idea from anyone? Remember, B is the y-intercept. Good job. Yep, it's 2. This is our B. So this plus B turns into plus 2. And now from this 2, you can walk to any point. Good point will be something that goes to the corner of your square. For example, this one is touching the corner of the square, so this is a good point. This one is also touching the corner of your square. This is also a good point. This is also touching the corner of the square. It's a good point. This point is also touching the corner of your square. It's a good point. So pick something that has a whole number for numerator and denominator. So it doesn't matter which point you walk to from your y-intercept, you're going to get the same result. So let me walk to the next number on the left direction, on the right direction. So from this point, let me change color. From your y-intercept, if you want to go here, first you have to walk 1 unit down, so -1. And then from that position, we need to walk 1, 2, 3 units to the right, means +3. And that's it. This is our equation of the line in slope-intercept form. So we have y equals -1/3 x plus 2. In standard form, they want x and y together. Since our x is negative, we can simply bring this x on the other side by adding 1/3 to both sides. So this cancel out. We get 1/3 of x plus y equals 2. This is in standard form. But then we have a problem. Usually, department doesn't want it to work with a fraction. So get rid of the fraction. Means convert 1/3 into a whole number. Now, do any of you have any idea how can you convert 1/3 into a whole number? This is not wrong, this is correct, but department doesn't want you to have any fraction in your standard form. If you observe all the standard form we worked so far, we worked with, none of them had any fraction. So usually standard form doesn't have fraction. So any idea from anyone? Well, our problem is the denominator. We don't want the 3 on the denominator. So to get rid of the 3 from the denominator, we have 1/3 x plus y equals 2. So if you don't want to see the 3 on the denominator, you can cancel if you multiply the numerator by a 3. So if you multiply the numerator by 3, denominator and numerator cancel out, and there is no fraction. But math is fair. If you multiply one term with 3, you have to multiply every term with 3. So multiply every term by 3, and you get x plus 3y equals 6. Now, this is better because it doesn't have any fraction. Okay. Any question? Was anything confusing? Unclear? Nothing? Then give me 2 minutes. I'm not feeling well. Let me go to the restaurant. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about this. Thank you, Anna. I was good yesterday, but I don't know what happened suddenly in the middle of the night. I started feeling bad, and I threw up just now. So it's like fourth time, actually fifth time. After sending in the email, I threw up again. Thank you, guys. So thank you. I don't want to cancel today's class because on 20th, February 20, I have an exam. So I have to cancel the class for you. So on February 19, you're going to have your first exam. And on 20, there won't be any class for us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for your understanding. Thank you. Organo. I don't think we have organo at home. We have ginger, so probably I will drink ginger tea later. Probably I ate something. I don't remember exactly what I ate, but probably I ate something yesterday. Hi, Sage. Thank you so much. And I received your email. Thank you. Hmm. Okay, so we are done with 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4. And now we are starting 3.5. 3.5 is a little bit longer than the other three. So you're going to take a little bit time here. So your homework is section 3.2, 3.3, and 3.4. Definitely these three. You have a quiz, which is the combination of 3.3 and 3.4. So also take that quiz. So 3 homework, 1 quiz, definitely you can do them. For 3.5, we are going to learn to find equation of line based on some information. First thing is, if 2 points are given, let's say we have 1 point here and 1 point there, how to find the equation of the line that goes through these 2 points. To find that equation, I wrote down all the steps. So if you follow these steps, you can find the graph easily. So you find the equation easily. Step 1 is find the slope using the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Once you have your formula, then we are going to use the third format of the line, which is called points point slope format. We are going to use that because we know what is our slope, and we are given 2 points. So from 2 points, we just pick 1 point, replace x1 and y1 with that. We never replace x and y because every equation has to have x and y. So we leave x and y alone, and we replace slope x1 and y1. And then based on the format they're asking us to write the equation, either we write in standard form or slope intercept form. If they don't mention anything in the exam which format they want the final answer to be, then once you replace, you're actually done. But most of the time they'll specify, write the equation in slope intercept form or write the equation in standard form. Usually they ask for standard form. So to convert this point slope format into standard form, you're going to bring x and y together on one side and the constant on the other side. That's what you're going to do. This is one method. And then I'm going to show you another method. So using this method, we have 2 points. Let's say our x1, y1 is the first number, 893. And our x2, y2 is the second pair, -72. So step 1, the slope, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y2 is 2, we are subtracting -3. Our x2 is -7, we are subtracting 8. Since we have double negatives, we are going to add the two numbers. We have 2 plus 3. And when you have same sign, you keep the sign, but actually add the numbers. So we have 5 over -15. They both are reducible by 5. So you get 1 over -3. The slope is a fraction. Then we go and replace the slope into y minus y1 equals slope times x minus x1. So we're going to replace everything else except x and y. So we keep our y and we subtract the y1. Our y1 is -3. The slope we found is -1/3. We keep our x, but we replace our x1, which is 8. We have double negative that turn into positive. So we get y plus 3 equals -1/3 x minus 8. Now, since they want us to write the equation in standard form, because if you see all the multiple choice, they all are written in standard form. So that means we need to bring x and y together. But to bring x and y together, we need to distribute this. But when you distribute, you have to work with fraction. And most people don't like fraction. That's why you can get rid of the fraction fast and then work with the whole numbers. Using the same method as before, in order to get rid of this 3 from the denominator, we can multiply both sides by 3. So these 3 cancel out. And here we get 3y plus 9. We have -1 times x minus 8. Now we can distribute without fraction. So we get 3y plus 9 equals -x positive 8. Now we want x and y together and the numbers to be together. So we can add x because x is negative, so we are going to make it positive. So x and y goes to one side. We have x plus 3y. That means the 9 on the left side is extra. So get rid of this 9 by subtracting from both sides. So on the left side of the equal sign, there is no more extra number. We have only x and 3y. So the right side of the equal sign is 8 minus 9. That gives us -1. And now we are happy because this is what is given here. X plus 3y equals -1. And this is your next exam question. So in the last class, I think I gave you 3 or 4. And now this is another one. You'll see this in the exam as well as you'll see this in the final exam. Okay. Any question?
I have a question. How would it look like in fraction?
If you keep your fraction,
Yeah, if I keep my fraction.
then you're going to write with, so we have y plus 3 equals -1/3 x minus 8. So you're going to distribute the fraction. So y plus 3 equals -1/3 x, and then -1/3 times -8. Below negative, we have 8, we have invisible 1. So when you multiply, you're going to multiply -1 times -8, and then 3 times 1. So y plus 3 equals -1/3 x, positive 8/3. And then you're going to add this 1/3 x. So this cancel out. You get 1/3 x plus y. You don't want this 3 on the left, so you subtract 3 from both sides. So you get 8/3 minus 3. But then you cannot leave this alone. You have to combine them. So there is a shortcut to combine. You multiply 3 with the 3, and then you combine here. So here we have a minus sign, so you do 8 minus that thing. So we have denominator is 3, the numerator 8 minus, and then you multiply 3 times 3, which is 9. This is a shortcut. So you get -1/3. And if you're not used to the shortcut, let me show you the details method to combine fraction. We have 8/3 minus 3. In order to combine a fraction with a non-fraction, you need to have the same denominator below this 3. But you cannot randomly just put the 3 below 3 because there wasn't any 3 at the beginning. So you need to multiply the numerator by that also. Once you have the same denominator, you keep the denominator once and you combine your numerators. First numerator is 8, and then you're subtracting 3 times 3, 9. So you get -1/3. Exactly same thing as here. So then you have 1/3 x plus y equals -1/3. But if you look at multiple choices, all these choices, none of them have fraction. That means you need to get rid of these fractions. So to get rid of them, you need to multiply each term by the denominator. And if you have different denominator, then multiply each term by the LCD of the denominators. So this denominator cancel out, this denominator cancel out, and you have 1x, 3y equals -1. So with the fraction, it will look like 1/3 x plus y equals -1/3. This is not wrong, but this is not acceptable because it's not in the multiple choice. Any question? No question from anyone? So I had this question. I'm gonna work with this. I'm gonna let you do this in class. And for now, let me go to the next topic. So first we learned how to, oh, I forgot to tell you the second method. So if you don't like doing all this work, no problem. There is also another shortcut. In the shortcut, you are going to draw and then find the equation. So second method. The 2 points we have is 8, -3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. The first point is here, 8, -3. And the second point is -7, 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, -7, +2 here. So you connect them with a straight line. And then you find the equation in y equals mx plus b format. Oh, this one has a problem. B, we don't know. We can only know the slope. So you're going to walk. So let's walk. From one point to another point, for y direction, we have 2 units here, and we have -3, 3 units here. So our slope on the numerator, we have 3 and 2, 5 units. For x, we have 7 units here and 8 units here. So we have 7 and 8, 15 units here. Now you're walking from left to the right, right? So you're walking down and then right. Walking down means negative, so 5 has to be negative. And walking right means positive, so down means negative. Going right means positive, so it's -5 and +15. That gives us -1/3. That's the slope. But the y-intercept, how do you know the y-intercept? So I go 5. Yeah, finding y-intercept here. I don't see an easy method. Forget about it. Just use the method I taught you, the first method. This is easier to find the slope, but the equation, if you don't see your y-intercept, it will be hard. So unless you have a grid paper, the graphing paper, you can find the y-intercept easily. But if you have the the graph paper, then you can see your y-intercept clearly, and then you get your y-intercept for this. So let's say we know our y-intercept. So we know our slope is 1/3. And from the graph paper, suppose you know your y-intercept is, what is our y-intercept? Well, I don't know, never mind. Don't waste our time. If you know your y-intercept, then you're going to write your y-intercept here. And then to convert this into standard form, you bring x and y together. And then to get to the fraction, you multiply by 3. Which is, I think, like same amount of work. So there is no point. I actually saw this, one of my previous students is this method. And I thought, wow, this is cool. So I wanted to show this to you. But this is useless if you don't have your graphing paper. Now the next one is talking about how to find the equation if you're already given the slope. So you don't have to find the slope. Slope is given and 1 point is given. So basically, this is the scenario. They gave you 1, 2, 3, -4, 1. They gave you this -4, 1. And they gave you the slope. So from slope and 1 point, how do you know if equation, what's the equation of the line? So you're going to get an equation like this. What's the equation of this line? So we are going to do exact same thing what we did in the last question. But you're going to skip the first step. In the last question, our first step was to find the slope. And here they already gave us the slope, so no slope is needed. You take the slope and you take the point, assuming that point is x1, y1, and you substitute everything into point slope format. You substitute x1, y1 and the slope, and then do exactly what we did in the last example. Based on your multiple choice, you figure out what should be the final format. So all these choices are in standard form. That means once you substitute, you're going to bring x and y together, and then the constant on the other side. So y minus y1 equals slope x minus x1. We're going to replace y1, slope, and x1. So p power y, p power x. Our y1 is 1. Our slope is -7/2. And we are subtracting x1, which is -4. The double negative turn into positive. So y minus 1 equals -7/2 x plus 4. So if you see multiple choice, none of them have fraction. That means we need to get rid of these 2 from the denominator. So multiply by 2, multiply by 2. These 2 cancel out. These 2 we distribute. We get 2y minus 2, negative 7 times x plus 4. And now we have no problem, so we distribute 2y minus 2 equals negative 7x minus 28. X is negative, so we can add the x to both sides. We get 7x plus 2y. That means this 2 is extra, so we get rid of that. And we get negative 28, positive 2. That gives us negative 26. So 7x plus 2y. So you pick the correct multiple choice. Negative 7x, 7x 2y negative 26 is this one. Now the questions I'm skipping, please do them as homework. And then I'm going to see them in our next class. So the question I skipped, this is the first one. Graph this equation using slope-intercept form, slope-intercept method. So question number 1, do it at home and bring it in the next class. Then I skipped this question. So this is question number 2. And now I'm skipping this question. So this is question number 3. This one is saying you have to write in 2 formats. One is slope-intercept form, and also at the end, write in standard form. So same thing what we did in the last example, do the same for this question.
Well, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So for the fraction to cancel it out, we would just multiply it with the same denominator to.
Yes, if you have
Okay.
only one fraction, then
Okay, gotcha.
multiply by the fraction denominator. But if you have multiple fractions, let's say one side has 1/2, the other side has 1/4 for some reason, then you need to multiply by the LCD. If you have multiple fractions, multiply by LCD. But if you have only one fraction, your life is easy. Just multiply by the same denominator. So let me stop here. The next few things we are going to go over in person so that you can understand them better. Okay, Alvin, no problem. I recorded this so you can watch the recording. And you have 3 questions to do in the homework. This is question number 3, and the other 2 I just showed. So have a good weekend, everyone. I'm letting you go 15 minutes early. I'm starting feeling bad again.
Thank you.
Feel
And
better,
get better.
Professor.
And have a good weekend.
Thank you so much. All of you also have a good weekend. Be safe. Don't go outside if it's not necessary. In this weekend, it will be too cold. So be safe. Thank you, everyone. Hey Tom, thank you for letting me know. I didn't know that we have a stomach virus going on. So yeah, I'll see. Right now I can't go outside. Like I'm feeling too bad to go outside. So if I feel a little better, I'll try to go urgent care. Thank you for letting me know. Oh man, stomach virus sounds horrible. So thank you so much, everyone. Bye.